Stop talking. Right now, you're telling people things that are going to destroy you. You think you're just having conversations, making friends, being honest, building trust. You're not. You're handing knives to people and showing them exactly where to stab. Machiavelli spent his life in the courts of power, watching empires rise and fall, and he noticed something that most people never see. The powerful barely speak. The weak never shut up. Every successful person he studied had one thing in common. They knew what to never say out loud. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you the 9 things you should never tell anyone. Not your friends, not your family, not your partner, no one. Because the moment these words leave your mouth, you've given someone else control over your life, and you can never get that control back. Some of these will seem obvious. Others will make you uncomfortable, and at least one will make you realize you've already made a terrible mistake. But if you can master these 9 rules of silence, you'll become the most dangerous person in any room, not because you're aggressive, but because you're unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable. Let's begin. The first thing you should never tell anyone seems like it's about being strategic, but it's actually about something much darker. Machiavelli watched this pattern play out hundreds of times. Someone would have a brilliant plan, a business idea, a life change, a bold move, and they'd be so excited about it, they'd tell everyone. And then nothing would happen, not because the plan was bad, but because talking about it killed it. There's a psychological phenomenon that happens when you announce your intentions. Your brain releases dopamine when you talk about your goals. The same chemical it releases when you actually achieve them. So when you tell your friend, "I'm starting a business," your brain gives you a hit of accomplishment. Even though you haven't done anything yet, you get the reward without the work, and your motivation dies right there. But that's not even the dangerous part. The dangerous part is what happens in the other person's mind when you tell them your plans. Even if they love you, even if they're your best friend, something shifts. Machiavelli called it envy. Modern psychology calls it social comparison. The moment you announce you're doing something they're not doing, you've created a threat to their ego. They might smile, they might say that's awesome, but a part of them, often a part they don't even control, wants to see you fail. Not because they're evil, because you've just implied you're moving ahead while they're standing still. And here's what happens next. They start planting doubt. Are you sure that's a good idea? The market is tough right now. What if it doesn't work? They're not trying to help. They're trying to bring you back down to their level. Or worse, they steal your idea. They see the value in it, and they have the resources or connections to execute it faster than you. I've seen this happen dozens of times. Person A tells Person B about a brilliant opportunity. Person B says nothing. 3 months later, Person B is doing the exact thing Person A talked about. When confronted, they say, "Oh, I thought of that too. Great minds think alike." Bullshit, they stole it, and you handed it to them. Machiavelli wrote, "Never let anyone know what you're thinking, and they will never be able to predict your next move." The most powerful people move in silence. They don't announce, they don't ask permission, they don't seek validation, they act, and everyone else finds out after it's already done. So here's the rule. Keep your mouth shut about your plans until they're already in motion. Don't tell people you're starting a business. Build it first, then mention it casually when they ask what you've been up to. Don't tell people you're training for something. Show up transformed. Don't tell people you're making a change. Just change. Let your results be the announcement. Let your transformation be the conversation. Because the less you say about what you're going to do, the more power you keep. And the more power you keep, the more dangerous you become. But here's what most people don't realize about keeping your plans secret. The second thing you should never reveal might seem like it's about privacy, but it's actually about survival. Money changes how people see you, always, no matter how much they love you. And Machiavelli understood something about human nature that most people refuse to accept. Humans don't want you to have more than them, not consciously, not intentionally, but deep in the primal part of their brain, your success feels like their failure. And when they know exactly how much more you're making than them, that feeling becomes unbearable. Here's what happens the moment you tell someone your income. If you make less than them, they see you as inferior. They might still like you, but they'll never respect you the same way. You've just told them they're higher in the hierarchy. If you make the same as them, they'll constantly compare. Every purchase you make, every vacation you take, they're calculating. How can they afford that if we make the same amount? But if you make more than them, you've just made an enemy. They won't show it. They'll smile. They'll say, "Good for you." But watch what happens over the next few months. They stop inviting you to things. They make subtle comments about "must be nice." They minimize your success. "Well, you got lucky," or "that field pays well." They start secretly hoping you fail. Machiavelli watched this destroy friendships, families, and political alliances. The moment you reveal your wealth, you become a target. I know someone who told their sibling they made 6 figures. Within a year, that sibling stopped talking to them, completely cut them off. Why? Because every family dinner became a reminder that one was succeeding and the other wasn't. I know someone else who told their friend group their salary. Suddenly, every time they split a bill, there were comments. "You can cover it, you make more than us." What was once friendship became resentment, because money made the invisible hierarchy visible. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven by envy more than by admiration." Your financial success doesn't inspire people, it threatens them. The less they know about your money, the safer you are. When someone asks what you make, deflect. "Enough to get by." "Can't complain. I'm doing all right." Never give numbers. Never give details. Never give ammunition. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them project. Because the moment they know, they start calculating. And those calculations never end well for you. But money isn't the only thing that breeds resentment when you reveal it. There's something even more personal that you should never share. The third thing you should never tell anyone seems completely backwards. Because we're taught that being generous is good, that helping people is noble, that charity is virtuous. And it is. But Machiavelli discovered something about human psychology that will make you sick. When you help someone, they don't always feel grateful. Sometimes they feel humiliated. And humiliation breeds hatred. Here's the dark truth about good deeds. Every time you help someone, you're establishing a hierarchy. You're the one with power, resources, or capability. They're the one who needed help. You might see it as kindness. They might see it as proof of their inferiority. And when you tell other people about it, you've just humiliated them publicly. Imagine you lent your friend $5,000 when they were struggling. You didn't ask for it back. You just helped. Now imagine you tell someone else, "Yeah, I helped John out last year when he was broke. Gave him $5,000. What you meant, I'm a generous person." What John hears when it gets back to him, "Everyone knows I was broke and needed handouts." You've just turned your good deed into a social liability for them. They can't escape it. Every time someone looks at them now, they wonder, is this the person who needed $5,000? Machiavelli wrote, "Benefits ought to be conferred gradually, and in such a way that the flavor of them lasts, but the memory of them should fade quickly." Translation: help people, but never remind them they needed help. Because the moment you broadcast your generosity, you're not helping anymore. You're collecting social credit at their expense. Watch what happens in families. Parent helps adult child with money, then mentions it at dinner. "Well, we helped you with your down payment." The child feels shame. Resentment builds. The relationship sours. Or in friendships, "Remember when I helped you move? Remember when I gave you a ride every day?" These aren't expressions of care. They're weapons, reminders of debt. If you do something good, do it silently. Let them tell the story if they want to. Let them control the narrative, because when you tell the story, you're stealing their dignity. And people don't forgive you for that. Help people, be generous, be kind, but keep your mouth shut about it. The moment you start listing your good deeds, you've revealed something ugly. You weren't doing it to help, you were doing it to look good. And Machiavelli would tell you, the need to be seen as good is a weakness that others will exploit. Do the deed, forget it, move on. But there's one type of information that's even more dangerous to share than your generosity. The fourth thing you should never tell anyone is the most dangerous mistake people make in the name of authenticity. We're told to be vulnerable, to share our struggles, to open up about our insecurities. We're told it builds connection, that it makes us relatable, that it shows strength, and sometimes it does. But Machiavelli watched something happen over and over in the courts of power that would make you rethink everything you've been told about vulnerability. Every single person who revealed their weakness was destroyed by it. Not immediately, Not obviously, but slowly, strategically. Their enemies use that information to dismantle them. Here's what happens when you tell someone your weakness. You think you're building trust. I'm showing you the real me. I'm letting you in. They're taking notes, filing it away, waiting for the moment when that information becomes useful. You tell your coworker, I'm terrible with confrontation. I hate conflict. What you meant, I'm being honest with you. What they heard, I can be pushed around. I won't fight back. 3 months later, they're taking credit for your work in meetings. Why? Because they know you won't confront them about it. You told your partner, I get really insecure when you talk to your ex. What you meant, I'm being vulnerable with you. What they heard, here's exactly what to do if I ever want to hurt them or control them. Not every partner will use it against you, but some will. And you've just given them the button that controls your emotions. Machiavelli wrote, the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. But here's what he meant. Smart people don't surround themselves with those who know their weaknesses, because weaknesses are weapons, and you should never hand weapons to people who might use them. I watched someone tell their entire team they suffered from imposter syndrome. They thought it made them relatable. What actually happened? Their team started doubting their competence. When tough decisions needed to be made, people questioned them more. Well, they did say they feel like a fraud. Their vulnerability didn't build trust. It built doubt. Another example. Someone told their friend they were afraid of being alone, thought they were opening up. That friend started using isolation as punishment. Anytime there was a disagreement, they'd ghost, because they knew it would break the person down. Vulnerability is a tool, not a virtue. You should be vulnerable strategically, with people who have proven they won't weaponize it. But most people, they're looking for leverage. They're collecting information, they're building a file on you, and the moment you tell them your weakness, you've just given them the keys to manipulate you. Keep your insecurities to yourself. Keep your fears private. Keep your struggles quiet. If you must share them, do it with a therapist, someone who's professionally bound not to use it against you. But your friends, your co-workers, your acquaintances, they don't need to know where you're soft, because soft spots are where the knife goes in. Be pleasant, be friendly, be professional, but never be fully known, because the fully known person is the fully vulnerable person. And Machiavelli would tell you, vulnerability is not strength, it's exposure. But here's what might surprise you about what you should keep secret. The fifth thing you should never tell anyone seems like common sense, but people break this rule constantly, and it destroys them in ways they never see coming. Machiavelli watched this pattern in every court he studied. Someone would gain access to privileged information, a secret, something told in confidence, and they couldn't help themselves. They had to tell someone else. What they didn't realize was, the moment you reveal someone else's secret, you've told everyone exactly what will happen when they tell you a secret. Here's the dark reality about gossip. When you share someone's secret, you think you're being interesting, building connection through shared information, showing that you're in the know. What you're actually doing is proving you can't be trusted, broadcasting that you trade in secrets, showing everyone that their secrets aren't safe with you. You tell your friend, don't tell anyone but Sarah's getting divorced. You think you're just sharing news. Your friend thinks, if they're telling me Sarah's secret, they'll tell Sarah my secrets. That person immediately recategorizes you. You're no longer trustworthy. You're entertaining maybe, but dangerous. They'll still hang out with you, but they'll never tell you anything real again. Machiavelli wrote, he who has not first laid his foundations may be able with great ability to lay them afterwards, but they will be laid with trouble to the architect and danger to the building. Translation: once people know you can't keep secrets, you can never rebuild that trust. The foundation is cracked. Everything built on it will be unstable. I know someone who worked in HR. They would occasionally mention things about employees to their friends outside work. Nothing major, just interesting tidbits. Word got back. Within a month, nobody in the company would talk to them about anything personal. They became completely isolated. Why? Because everyone knew their secrets weren't safe. Another example, someone told their friend group about another friend's financial troubles, thought they were just venting. That person was immediately cut out. Not dramatically, just slowly excluded. Invites stopped coming. Calls went unanswered. Why? Because nobody wanted to be the next person whose problems became group gossip. Every secret you keep makes you more powerful. Every secret you tell makes you more dangerous and therefore more isolated. People are drawn to those they can trust, and trust is built in silence. When someone tells you something private, they're testing you. They're seeing if you can hold weight. If you can't, they'll never give you weight again. When someone shares a secret, bury it completely. Don't tell your partner. Don't tell your best friend. Don't tell anyone. Even if the person says you can tell so-and-so, don't. Because that's still a test. The person who never repeats anything becomes the person everyone trusts. And the person everyone trusts has access to power. Information is currency. Don't spend it on temporary connection. Save it. Let it accumulate. Because the person who holds all the secrets controls the game. But there's something even more personal you should never reveal. The sixth thing you should never tell anyone is something most people get completely backwards. We're taught to market ourselves, to show our value, to let people know what we're capable of. And in some contexts that's true. But Machiavelli understood something about human nature that most people never learn. The moment people know what you can do, they start calculating what you can do for them. And once they see you as a tool, you stop being a person. Here's what happens when you reveal your full capabilities. You tell people you're great with technology. Suddenly, everyone's asking you to fix their computer, set up their phone, troubleshoot their Wi-Fi. You tell people you're good at writing. Now everyone wants you to edit their resume, proofread their email, review their project. You tell people you speak another language. Now you're the free translator for every friend who travels. What you thought was sharing becomes obligation, because you revealed capability, and capability creates expectation. Machiavelli observed that powerful people never reveal their full hand. They always kept something in reserve. Why? Because the moment your enemy knows everything you can do, they can plan around it. If they know you're a great negotiator, they'll avoid negotiating with you. If they know you're physically strong, they'll use different tactics. If they know you're emotionally intelligent, they'll be guarded around you. Your full capabilities revealed equals your power neutralized. There's a famous story about a general who never revealed his best troops until the critical moment. His enemies thought they had calculated his full strength. When he unleashed his reserves at the perfect time, the enemy collapsed. They had no counter-strategy because they didn't know those forces existed. In modern life, I watched someone reveal they had savings. Their family immediately started asking for loans. Their friends started expecting them to pay for things. The moment they showed they had resources, everyone started making claims on those resources. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be thought weak and be strong than to be thought strong and be weak. Because if people underestimate you, you have all the power. They don't see you coming. They don't prepare for you. They dismiss you, and then you strike. Downplay your skills. Undersell your capabilities. Let people think you're less than you are. Not in a way that makes you seem incompetent. Just in a way that makes you seem normal, average, nothing special. Then when the moment demands it, reveal what you can actually do. The shock of your hidden capability is a weapon. Use it. Someone who's been underestimated their whole life and suddenly demonstrates mastery, that's terrifying. That's powerful. But the person who's always showing off their skills, they're predictable, known, already calculated. Keep your cards close. Let them think they know what you're holding. Then play the hand they never saw coming. But there's one thing even more dangerous to reveal than your capabilities. The seventh thing you should never tell anyone is the one that gets people destroyed in the modern world more than almost anything else. We live in a time that worships honesty. Speak your truth. Be authentic. Say what you really think. And on the surface, that sounds empowering. But Machiavelli would look at this advice and see a death sentence. Because he understood something about opinions that most people refuse to accept. Every opinion you voice is a weapon someone can use against you, now or later, in ways you'll never see coming. Here's the reality. Your opinions don't exist in a vacuum. The moment you say what you really think about politics, religion, social issues, or even small things like movies or music, you've created invisible enemies. You think you're just expressing yourself. What you've actually done is given people a reason to exclude you, dismiss you, or attack you. You're at dinner. Someone mentions a political topic. You give your honest opinion. 3 people at that table now see you differently. 1 agrees, 2 don't. The two who don't agree will never fully trust you again. They'll be friendly but guarded. Because you've revealed you're one of them, the other side. Your honest opinion just cost you social capital you didn't even know you had. Machiavelli wrote, "A wise ruler should never keep his word when it would go against his interest." What he meant, flexibility is power, rigidity is weakness. The moment you lock yourself into a stated position, you've lost the ability to adapt. You're now defending a position instead of pursuing your interests. Watch what happens on social media. Someone posts their political opinion. They think they're being brave, speaking truth. What actually happens? Half their followers unfollow. Some employers look them up and decide not to hire. Future opportunities disappear because someone screenshot their take. One opinion stated publicly can follow you for years, decades, forever. I watched someone lose a job opportunity because the hiring manager found a tweet from 5 years ago. The opinion wasn't even controversial, but it didn't align with the company culture. Opinion stated equals opportunity lost. Your real opinions are your business, nobody else's. The powerful speak in generalities. They nod along. They say, "Interesting perspective," or "I can see multiple sides to this." They never lock themselves in, because being locked in means being limited. When someone asks your opinion on something controversial, "I haven't thought deeply about it. I can see arguments on both sides. That's a complex issue." This isn't lying. This is strategic ambiguity. You're keeping your options open. You're staying flexible. You're refusing to be categorized. Because the person who can't be categorized can't be dismissed, can't be excluded, can't be written off. In a world where everyone's screaming their opinions, the person who stays quiet becomes the most interesting person in the room. Machiavelli would tell you, your thoughts are your power. The moment you give them away freely, you've given away your power. But opinions aren't the final thing you should never share. There's one more. The 8th thing you should never tell anyone seems like it would be okay. Because we're close to these people. We trust them. They care about us. But Machiavelli watched family dynamics destroy more alliances, more careers, and more lives than any battlefield. And he noticed something about family problems that's deeply disturbing. When you tell someone about your family dysfunction, you're not just sharing information, you're handing them ammunition they can use against you forever. Here's what happens when you reveal family problems. You tell your friend, "My dad's an alcoholic," or "My sister steals from me," or "My mum's toxic." You think you're venting, getting support, being vulnerable. What you've actually done is permanently lowered your social status in their eyes. Humans judge you by your associations. It's unconscious, automatic, tribal. When you tell someone your family is dysfunctional, they don't think, "Wow, they overcame a lot." They think broken home equals broken person. Even if you're successful, even if you're healthy, even if you've done the work, the label sticks, the stain spreads. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand." Translation, appearance matters more than reality. If your family appears dysfunctional, you appear dysfunctional, even if you're not. I watched someone lose a promotion because they mentioned their parent was in prison. They were qualified, they did great work. But the executive making the decision had a bias. Criminal family equals potential liability. Was it fair? No. Did it happen? Yes. Another example. Someone told their partner's family about their abusive childhood, thought it would build empathy. Instead, the partner's parents started questioning if they were damaged goods. The relationship ended shortly after. Your family problems are yours alone. They don't define you. But the moment you share them, other people use them to define you. Keep your family issues private. Deal with them in therapy. Process them internally. But don't make them public knowledge, because you can't control what people do with that information. When someone asks about your family, they're fine, thanks for asking. We're not that close, but it's all good. Redirect the conversation. You don't owe anyone your family history. You don't owe anyone an explanation of your dysfunction. Handle it privately, keep it contained, move forward. Because the person who reveals their messy background is giving people a reason to doubt them, and doubt kills opportunity. But there's one final thing you should never tell anyone, and this one might be the most important of all. The 9th and final thing you should never tell anyone is the most counterintuitive, and it's the one that destroys successful people more than anything else. When things are going well, really well, every instinct you have tells you to share it, to celebrate, to let people know. But Machiavelli documented a pattern that played out in every empire, every court, every circle of power he studied. The higher you rise, the more people want to see you fall. And the moment you announce you're winning, you've just painted a target on your back. Here's the brutal truth about success. People don't celebrate your wins. They calculate them. How did they get that? Why them and not me? They don't deserve it. It's not fair. Every win you announce creates resentment in someone who's not winning. And resentment is slow-burning hatred. You got promoted. You post about it. You tell your friends what you think you're doing, sharing good news. What's actually happening? You've just told everyone you're pulling ahead. Some people are happy for you. Most are measuring the gap between you and them. And that gap hurts. They won't show it. They'll congratulate you. But watch what happens over the next few months. Invites slow down. Responses get shorter. The warmth disappears. Why? Because your success reminds them of their stagnation. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Translation: handle problems before they become problems. The problem with success isn't the success itself, it's the visibility of it. When you're winning quietly, people don't notice. When you're winning loudly, they can't ignore it. And what they can't ignore, they resent. I know someone who started a successful business, made good money, posted about it constantly. Within a year, their entire social circle changed. Old friends disappeared. Family members got bitter. Why? Because every post was a reminder, I'm doing better than you. Nobody wants that shoved in their face. Another person got into amazing shape, posted transformation photos, documented every workout. Friends started making snide comments. Must be nice to have that much free time. Some of us have real responsibilities. The success wasn't the problem, the broadcasting was. Machiavelli knew envy is more powerful than admiration. For every one person inspired by your success, 10 are silently hoping you fail. Not because they're bad people, because your win feels like their loss. When you're winning, shut up about it. Don't post the promotion. Don't announce the raise. Don't show off the car, the house, the vacation. Let people find out indirectly. Let them notice gradually. Let them adjust to your rise slowly. Because sudden visible success triggers their comparison instinct. And comparison breeds resentment. Win quietly. Build in the dark. Let your results speak only when absolutely necessary. The person who's winning but nobody knows about, they're safe. The person who's winning, and everyone knows, they're a target. Machiavelli would tell you, your biggest victories should be your quietest moments. Because power is most effective when it's invisible. Success is safest when it's unannounced. And the truly dangerous person, they're winning so quietly, nobody sees them coming until they've already won. So there you have it. The 9 things you should never tell anyone. Your next move, how much money you make, your good deeds, your weaknesses, others' secrets, your full capabilities, your real opinions, your family problems. And when you're winning too much, Machiavelli spent his life watching power change hands. And he noticed that the people who lost power always made the same mistake. They talked too much. They revealed too much. They trusted too much. They shared too much. And every word they spoke was a brick removed from their fortress. The people who kept power, they were silent, strategic, selective. They understood that every sentence you speak is a negotiation. And in that negotiation, information is your bargaining chip. The moment you give it away freely, you've lost leverage. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, practice radical silence. Don't share your plans. Don't reveal your income. Don't broadcast your wins. Watch what happens. You'll notice people start treating you differently, with more curiosity, more respect, more caution, because silence creates mystery, and mystery creates power. The person nobody can fully read is the person nobody can fully control. And in a world where everyone's screaming for attention, the quiet one becomes the most dangerous person in the room, not because they're aggressive, but because they're unknowable. And the unknowable cannot be predicted, cannot be manipulated, cannot be defeated. That's the Machiavellian way. That's true power. Now go be silent and watch the world bend toward you. If you have made it this far, it is because a part of you already knows this truth. Every secret you reveal becomes a handle someone can use to move you. Words create leverage. Silence preserves power. The strongest people are never fully known. They are read, but never understood. Now tell me in the comments if you are ready to guard your inner world and stop handing your power to those who have not earned it. If this message touched you and made sense, write in the comments, "I reveal nothing." Let us see how many here are truly ready to become unreadable. And do not forget, keep watching the next video. It is important, much more than you imagine. See you there.